Right, we are back with possibly, I think this is going to be extremely hard to get this right with resin first time. So, it is an experiment. So a viewer, I think it was last week, left a comment asking me if I could try and do a conch pearl. Now, I want to do a different style of pearl, and if this works and I can get the style right, it will be the same technique to create the conch pearl. So I'm going to be using my resin to make a extremely rare pearl that doesn't actually come from an oyster. It comes from a type of sea snail, and that is called the Melo Melo Pearl. Now, some of these pearls sell for hundreds of thousands. Now, of course, I will say this, don't make these for the wrong reason. Don't make these and try selling them to kind of trick people into thinking they are real. That's not good. So you have seen me using this Now Builder Gel before. You don't have to use this. I'm not saying you have to go and buy it. You could potentially use this Cabochon mold, make two halves, glue them together, because we are going to be dipping them. This is completely optional, but it's at hand, and I find this really, really easy to use. So this is Now Builder Gel. It's just a putty. You can get, I've been told, you can get a resin UV clay. I think it's exactly the same. I've said that before. You just pull it, roll the ball and cure it. And that will be our base. So all I'm going to do now is just take out enough. And remember, we are going to be doing this in layers. Similar to how a natural pearl is actually created in layers. I think it's of calcium, isn't it? So because we're going to be dipping it, it is going to grow. So bear that in mind. If you want a small pearl, start off smaller, and then we can increase as we're dipping. So I'm going to stick with a large one. We want a big pearl. So I find just rolling it in the palm of my hand doesn't have to be perfectly round. Pearls aren't naturally round. If they are, then they're worth more, apparently. And then we can cure that. I'm just going to use my flashlight and give that just a quick cure, and then I can give it a longer cure under my lamp, just to stop it from kind of sinking, allowing gravity to deform the round ball. Because the heat of my hands can actually lower the viscosity of the putty, and it will begin to self-level. So there is my cured ball, and you'll see there's a slight flat surface there where it was sitting. So that's fine. We kind of, that comes in handy. And the same way that I made my Tahitian pearl, I'm going to glue my stick on. So I'm going to find my flat area, dab some UV resin on my stick and place it on, and then using my flashlight again, just give it a quick cure. There we have it, ready for dipping. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Melo Melo. It could be Melo Melo, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to put some more resin into my mixing cup here. Now, the Melo Melo Pearl has tints of, it's mainly orange. It can be variations of kind of dark orange, light orange, even into kind of red. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to use mica powder for this. And this is going to be the Let's Resin from the Let's Resin 36 mica set. I'm going to start with a base red. So what I'm hoping is, as I'm layering this, the red will show through in hints here or there. I really, really don't know. If you want to do this as a conch pearl, obviously conch pearls are more pink, so you wouldn't need any red. But you would just need to color match the pink to the conch pearl, if that makes sense. The tricky part is going to be recreating. If you pause the video and go and search quickly for the Melo Melo Pearl, it's MELO twice with a space in between. If you go and search, you'll see that it has these kind of speckles of white, And that is going to be the really, really tricky part, I think, to get right. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but we'll get there. And my beast of a lamp is going to be to the side of me. So I'm going to talk you through this part first, because I'm not going to keep, showing this stage. So after every dip, what I'm doing is I'm allowing the excess to drip off of the pearl, and then I keep turning it and then hold it inside my lamp whilst turning it, every single layer. So that will cure it, and it will stop it, any kind of drip marks or drips curing and deforming the pearl. So you need to turn it. And a very important thing, don't be doing this kind of stuff without black nitrile gloves. I have spoken to quite a few people recently who thought they were allergic to UV resin, but it turns out that they were kind of holding their hands under the lamp, and the UV light can penetrate clear vinyl or latex gloves a lot more than what they can black nitrile. So just bear that in mind, guys. So yeah, I'm going to be doing this after every layer. So I'll just say I'm curing it, and you know what I mean. So in with the red. As always, massive shout out to my channel members, anyone who's bought me a coffee or a super thanks, to all my subs. We are almost there now. We are almost there. Less than 1,000 people, and we are at 100k. So you can see that. This looks like a cherry. I suppose you could make cherries using this technique as well. So I'm just going to keep turning that and cure that under my lamp. So I'm just going to go in with another layer just to strengthen that up. You could have made that darker, but then you've got more risk of it not curing fully. Sorry, my mask is halfway over my mouth. So second layer, and you can see just how good that is looking already. And I'm going to cure it. So there it is. So this is our base now. Now we need to try and work out how we're going to do these white speckles. Now I did think about flicking some paint onto there, but I want to try and do it with white mica powder. Now let's mix it and see first. So if this works, it's going to be incredible. It really is going to be incredible to create something that's really out of our price range to buy. Well, it's out of my price range, don't know about you, but we're talking thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, depending on the size, color, shape. To be able to recreate something like that, it's going to be phenomenal. So this is the white from that same set. I'm just going to mix that in thoroughly. Okay, so with mica powder, what we tend to see is it forms these they look like dimples. It's like a really strange effect you can't really control. What I need that on this pearl as a layer. So I'm hoping that it's going to do that and create that effect. But it's not. It's almost like I need it to separate, giving it like a speckled effect. Again, if you've searched the image, have we got it? No. It's almost like I need some form of like a silicone oil to kind of separate it. Maybe flicking the white paint on would have been, my mask is riding up my face as I'm talking, would have been a better option. See, there's some there, but then some of that is bubbles. I wonder if my silicone release spray would work similar to a silicone oil, and we could spray that on and it would hopefully give it the texture that I'm looking for. Right, let's see. We're going to find out. This is tricky because I need to kind of turn. Whoa, see that? That's what we want. No way that worked first time. Look at that. Right, I need to keep that effect. Whilst turning it, right, I'm going to quickly cure that. That's crazy. Look at that effect. That's what we want. See, the silicone spray, what it's done is it's kind of, as you've sprayed it, it's separated that white layer, but it's pushed it into small areas to give a really nice textured. I can't believe that worked first time. That is absolutely crazy. So I'm happy that the red is still showing through. We've got the white effect. So if you was to do this as a conch pearl effect with a pink, then the white, all you really need to do is just dip it in clear, and then you've got a conch pearl. But with this pearl, I need to dip it in more resin that is coloured orange, and hopefully we won't lose this. So another mixing cup, and you can always, once you've got your colours pre-mixed, just store them in a dark place and they will last. See, the more you open doors on dark places, the light goes in and it can cure it, but you can keep them. So the only orange that I've got in that set is tangerine. I'm hoping this is going to work, and I'm hoping it's not too, but again, like I said, they come in a variation of colours, ranging from that light orange into really dark. So my last video I mentioned about our mouse issue. So the night I posted my last video, Thursday night, I informed you, or not informed you, well, kind of told you that we had little mice coming in since we had some gas work. So I posted the video, it launched at 8 PM UK time, and I was quite happily replying to comments, and then Mrs. Cooper shouts at me she could hear another one. So we were up until 1 o'clock in the morning hunting mouse number 2 down. Luckily we got rid of it, and Mrs. Cooper ended up having to go for a little drive to take it to be reunited with its friend at a park at gone 1 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, that's 2 now. Hopefully that's it. Not heard anything else since Thursday. Right. Hoping maybe I put too much mica in, but I'm just going to let that do its thing. And the longer I leave it dripping off, so I forgot to clean off the silicone spray. What's happening is it's separating on the surface. Is that a bad thing? Can we use that to our advantage? I don't know. I'm just going to keep turning it and see what happens. Yeah, I don't like the patchiness of it. So clean it clean it before you dip it. So I'm going to dip it again, and hopefully as I'm stirring it, it's going to contaminate this orange now though. But I made a mistake. We all make mistakes. Hopefully. Wow, see that effect? I want to see that white and the red through. So again, I'm just going to sit and allow that to fall and drip and give a clearer orange finish. If it doesn't work, I'm going to have to put some more clear in here until it's diluted enough. So I'm at a stage where I'm wondering, do I spray it again instead of diluting that down? I think I'm going to try it because it's not cured. If it goes wrong, I can always change it. I know it defeats the object because we did clean the excess off from curing last time, but you can see that speckled effect. That's what we want. That is perfect. That looks very, very close to the real thing. So I'm going to cure it. All I'm going to do now is remember to just give that a quick dab over just to get any of the spray off, and I'm going to give that a clear dip just to give it a really nice finish and a bit more depth in just some clear UV resin. and cure it. So now that last layer has cured, I take the stick and the pearl in one hand and just twist them. This will become our drill point. If you have any excess, I use just the edge of my scissors. Do it any way you want. You've got an electric tool, you can sand that down, but it's going to be hidden. You'll see that tiny bit of wood from the stick that's left there. That really is an advantage because we can take our drill. I'm using the spring drill from Little Windows, but I'm not using the spring action yet. I'm just turning it just to get the hole started. It really is easy because that wood's there. Once I get to a certain point, I can then use the spring action in the drill. Just be careful because the drill can jump out the hole. You don't want to scratch and have to re-dip. So I can now begin. I'm not allowing the spring to go the whole way up the drill, like up here, because that's when it can jump out of shallow holes. I'm taking it about halfway up the stem here to ensure that it doesn't jump out. Now I'm using a pearl cap. I haven't got the screw style ones. If you are doing this, make sure you order the screw-in ones. Be a lot more secure than this. I'm not going to put the links for these in the description because I don't want you losing them and blaming me. So, but you want a really strong glue, like an E6000 plus or something like that, or you've seen me make the homemade glue. But yeah, I'd definitely go for the screw-in option just to make it a lot more secure. Right, now I haven't got 24 hours for that glue to dry. I've made another one as well. The glue's drying on that one. It's even bigger, but I'll show you that one in a moment. What I like to use with these type of bales are these clip-on bales. I say clip-on there. They're like little clips. And what you can do, they're so small. It helps if you take your gloves off, but I just can't be bothered. As always, give the video a thumbs up, drop me a comment if you haven't subbed. Again, it is free, hit that button for me. You just clip that on and then attach it to the necklace. I'm going to try and get it so you can see it finished without that falling out. With a screw-in one, you wouldn't have this problem. And there it is. It's really hard to see the texture. It has like a ripple effect just below the surface of that orange, but it's really tricky to show that on camera. I'm going to take it off and try and get a better view. So pay attention to this area down here as I turn it. That's the best view of that effect that I can kind of get on camera. It's really hard. If I get different light, see it appearing in the middle, but then if I change the light, it disappears. It's really hard to get on camera. I'll show you the other one. The other one's a bit more visible. This is a whopper. Different color, slightly lighter in color. It has red hints around the whole thing, but you can see that effect a lot better on this one than the other. Kind of more orange up here, but they're very close for first attempts at this pearl. I think I could master this to almost identical. If you want me to try and show you a conch pearl, I will. I'm pretty sure I could use the same technique to create that also. Hope you enjoyed that one, and I will see you for the next one. I'm going to go and get myself rich, not by selling them as real pearls, but replicas. Remember, if you're going to sell them, put that they're made of resin. See you for the next one. Bye for now.